Jenicky Wolf here, bringing you a turret-focused Bastion build. And compared to my assault rifle Bastion build, the turret Bastion is a more passive playstyle. There's a lot more repairing of turrets and spawning of turrets than there is just shooting people compared to the assault rifle Bastion. And this is a turret build that focuses on getting the maximum amount of turrets out onto the field as often as possible. So with perks, and I don't have all the perks being referenced in this build, but I did have a friend who used the build and its effectiveness cannot be ignored. So let's get to it. So you want to grab Overseer, the Bastion exclusive perk, basic perk. The other basic perk you're going to want is Repairing Nanites. It's just 1% health regen on the turrets. Then you're going to want to get Resilient Alloys. And Resilient Alloys is level 20 Bastion perk. It increases the health of your non-shield deployables by 15%. You're then going to want to get Plasma Enthusiast, which is 10% energy and plasma weapon damage. Then you're going to come down to Advanced. You're going to grab Mounted Firepower, which gives all of your deployables 25% extra damage. Then you're going to want to get Tactician. And when you inflict a headshot, there's a 20% chance of resetting your ability cooldowns. This can only trigger once per minute. This comes from the Accord Recon level 30. And this is one of the methods you're going to use to get your turrets out there and much faster, and to increase the maximum amount of turrets you can sustain at one time. Because you have to wait for the cooldown, and taking into account the duration, you're gonna have a maximum amount of turrets available at one time that is lower if you use all the deployment modules you can, that will be lower than your maximum deployment. So the extra deployment will be wasted. Then you're going to want to get high yield capacitors. Activating your HKM instantly refreshes your cooldowns. That comes from the Electron level 30. And this is another method to instantly get more turrets out there. Now, on to the abilities themselves, and as per my other Bastion video, I don't have all the endgame gear set up for this class, especially for this build, since I'm still leveling the classes to unlock the perks. So listen to what I'm saying, less so than what you're seeing on the screen. So for the custom charged rocket turret, you want the custom charged prefix. That's because there's currently a bug, or it might even possibly be working as intended, that doesn't allow you to put deployment prefixes on rocket turrets. You could switch to heavy turrets and run a long deploy and you'd get an extra turret in comparison, but I'm not certain if the loss of rockets is really worth it. So you want, on your custom charged rocket turret, you want one rare or epic quality deployment module, you want one wide deployment module, and one long deploy module. On your weapon, you're of course going to want a Tesla rifle so you can repair. You're going to want 2 Carnage modules, which are rate of fire and magazine size, and you're going to want 1 Blazing module, which is rate of fire and charge time. Your HKM, because your HKM allows you to refresh your cooldowns, you're going to want to get as fast a charge time as you can. And that's why you're going to want a custom charged Fortify. You're going to want you're going to want 2 charged modules, and you're going to want 1 Swift module. That gives you as much charge time as you can get, along with some extra damage reduction and duration. So then, going to your rocket turret that we already covered, going to your multi-turret, you're going to want a long deploy multi-turret, and on that you're going to want a rare or epic quality deployment module, a long deployment module, and a ranged deployment module. that will give you 8 max deployments. And you'll be able to get these out there because you can store up to 4 charges. So you'll have 4 on the field. You get a headshot after that, one charge resets, you now have 5 on the field. So then 20 seconds later you have 6, 20 seconds after that you have 7, 20 seconds after that you have 8. So you can see how you can quickly get a large amount of turrets out there at once with this build. And then on your Sentinel pod, you're going to want 1 rare or epic quality deployment module and 2 distant deployment modules. The distant deployment module is going to increase your effect radius so that your Sentinel pods can cover more turrets at once, and the focus on the effect radius is also so you can fit in multiple rocket turrets within a single Sentinel pod's effect radius. And that is because there is a distance where you can't have 2 rocket turrets too close to each other. So you want to get the Sentinel pod's healing radius to be big enough to cover the distance between 2 rocket turrets or more, because if you can get it high enough, you can get 3 or 4 within a single Sentinel pod depending on arrangement. And another interesting thing to note is verticality within deployments doesn't calculate as strictly as like a horizontal if they're on the same plane. So if you can get something, you put 1 rocket turret on the ground and then put a second rocket turret on a ledge above it, it will draw a straight line to that rocket turret following the curvature of the ledge. It won't draw a straight line going directly from turret to turret. So you can get them closer and within the same range of a Sentinel pod if you can find a location like that. Now, we've covered the weaponry, we've covered the perks, we've covered the abilities. So that is the maximum turret Bastion. Now it's quite deadly, in fact, because you get, compared to not running this build or running a different build, you, with your HKM cooldown refresh, with your once a minute headshot cooldown refresh, with your HKM modded out for charge time, you can get consistently large amounts of turrets out there in a single battle, and you also can get, if you finish a battle and then have to start a new battle later, you can get multiple turrets out there very quickly. You're not defenseless in between battles like you might be otherwise. So the Assault Rifle Bastion or the Maximum Turret Bastion are 2 different ways of playing the Bastion class, and I enjoy both of them, like focusing on turrets or focusing on assault rifles. So take a look at the assault rifle video if you aren't as turret focused, or stick with this one. And that is the turret focused Bastion build.